This application is for beginners. So in this application, the business requirements will be design and develop employee management system, and it will be control application. Features of this application will be we are going to manage employee information system, and this employee management system will have following functionalities. It will have a menu which will be a console based menu, add employee and a list employee. These are the features and functionalities of this application. In order to work on this application, there will be few prerequisites. First, we have the basic core Java language concept clarity. Then we should aware about Java Bean provided by Java, collection framework, and exception handling mechanism. So these are the prerequisite. And then what are the tools, libraries, frameworks requirement for this application? We need JDK version 12 minimum to work on this application, and any code editor can be used. Like we can use Eclipse, IntelliJ, or any code editor which support Java coding. Employee management system version 1.0 is now having two functionalities: add employee and list employee, and we have the option to quit the application. Suppose we want to add few employees, we can choose option 1. It will ask ID of the employee, name of the employee, and department like Java. Showing employee added, press N key to continue. Add another employee, choose one. ID is 2, name is Satnam, and department is Java. Employee added, press N key to continue. Add another employee. So now another employee added, press N key to continue. We have added 3 employees. We can show the list of the employees and choose 2 to check the list of employees. So it's showing all the 3 added employees. In order to go to main menu, press any key to continue. If you want to quit the application, choose 3. Let's move to the coding part. In the coding part, there are 3 steps initially we have to perform. First is create a project in IntelliJ IDE, then start the coding by developing this menu, and this menu will have 3 options: add employee, list employee, then exit. And then on selection, take an input from the user, and based on the input of the user, display the message what a user has chosen. Now let's start with the first step: create project. Go to IntelliJ and choose new project. Here we need to choose new project from left pane and give name as employee management system, EMS. Choose language as Java and build system as IntelliJ. Right now I'm using Oracle JDK 17, but you can use any one, but minimum version should be 12 of the JDK. Create project. So after selecting create project, this default window will open. Let's remove all the existing code from the default class. And here create a package. com.ems and move this auto created main file in this com.ems package. It's moved now. Just add one output statement, save it, and execute and check this project is working or not. In order to run this application, we can choose from here. Now our application is working perfectly. We can see the output statement output here, EMS started. Next, we need to create a menu. Let's create a new class as menu and create a function to menu. And further create another function menu list. Add the menus here. First menu item would be add imply. Second will be list imply. And third will be quit. Now invoke this method from this show menu. Perfect. Now we have created a class with a public function show menu and added another private function menu list. And this menu list function is responsible to show the menu items. Now show menu, call this function from main. First of all, create an object of menu class. And call a function show menu. Let's test this functionality we added. Execute the application again. Okay. Now in the console, we can see the menu we just added. Now next task is take the input from the user and on based on the input of the user show the message. So in order to take the input from the user in Java, we use a scanner class. Let's create an instance of this class. Now import the required classes. And here get the input from the user. Before taking the input, show one message on the screen. Give one tab first. Okay. Now, if user using a 3 is option value equal to 3, then exit from the application. So this is a exit function of system class to terminate the application. Let's check this functionality by running this application again. Okay, here in the console, if you check, it's asking the input, so I'm choosing 3. So as per given functionality, I chosen 3, so this condition becomes true and system.exit executed and application has been terminated. So if user chosen 3, then we are just exiting from the application, and if user choosing any wrong value which is not in the range of the menu, less than 0 and greater than 3, then we are displaying the message and redirecting the um, menu, right? So now if user choosing a right option, then process it. For this, we need to make one change here. Just call show menu mess function, and in the else part, then create another function here which will actually will responsible to perform the main operations like add and show implies. So now call this process menu function from else part. So else part is what? If a user is choosing the correct menu item between the range, we have added 1 to 3. Now we need to perform all the operations repeatedly, right? So what we have to do, we need to add the whole functionality in a loop to while, and it will be infinite loop, and put the whole functionality here. So until and unless user chosen 3, the loop will be continuing. So next, inside the process menu function, we need to use a switch statement and check if user chosen 1, then display message, then print a message imply added, and invoke a function show menu. In case user chosen 2, display message imply list, and then invoke show menu function. And in case of default, do nothing. This is simple. In the else part, we invoked a process menu function, and this process menu function will be responsible to handle the add imply as well as list imply functionalities. Save it and now try it. We choose on 1. It's showing message employee added, and then again showing us the menu to perform another operation. Suppose I'm choosing here 2. It's saying employee list, again showing the message, and if I choose 3, it will exit from the application. Now it's time to implement actual logic of add and list implies functions. In order to create the implementation of these methods, let's create one new class. Employee service. So here we will implement two methods. One is add imply. It will take imply being class object. Now this imply bean is a Java bean class provided by Java. It will hold complete information of imply. Let's create this class. It will contain getter and setter methods along with the variables that we'll use to store the information of the imply. So this imply bean will have three variables to hold imply information. One is ID, second is and third will be department. So as per Java Bean class guidelines, create getter and setter. Now we have private variables in imply bean class, and accordingly we have created setter and getter functions corresponding to each variable. Go to imply service again. We are using collection framework in this application to store imply bean objects. Let's create container. Import the classes. Now I implement another function. To imply. If list imply collection object is empty, then show the message. So record else, use for loop, and iterate lst object. To print id and print name and then print department. Make it static and final as well. So in this employee service, we have one collection object. It will act as a container and will hold the objects of employee bean class. So add employee method is responsible to add all new employees object in this list, and this show employee method is responsible to iterate this list and show the information of all the employees available in this list. Now move to menu class, and here remove the static methods and call the methods we just implemented in the employee service. So in order to invoke the method of employee service, first create the object of employee service class. Now invoke here method obj employee service dot add. This method requires an object of employee bean. So create another method which will take input from the user and create an object of employee bean class. So here it is, get employee details. We created one method, and here we created an object of employee class. We show the message and then get the input from the user and store in the object of employee bean by using the set id method. Then we show the method name, get the input from the user, and then showing the message department and getting the input from the user as department and stored in the employee bean class. So now we have taken a complete information of an employee and store inside the obj employee class bean class. Call this method from here, get employee details. And in case of employee list, call the another method show employee. Now try this newly implemented features. We choose one. It's asking about id, it's one. It's asking about the name, and asking about the department. So employee added and redirected to the main menu. Add another employee. And department is mechanical. Now another employee added. Now check the list of employees, choose two. Now it's showing a list of employees we added earlier. First, Satnam Singh, Java department, and second, Gurmeet Singh from mechanical department. So using these features, we can add multiple employees and we can check list of employees anytime. In order to quit, just choose 3. This is the output of the application. So in console application, we want to clear the screen after performing any operation, like after adding the employee and after checking the list of employees. Like other languages, C and C++, there are straightforward functions to clear the screen. But in Java, there is no straightforward function, or we can say inbuilt function provided by Java. It can be used to clear the screen. So in order to clear the screen, we have to execute uh, the terminal command from the Java application to clear the screen. So this is a clear screen function we just added to clear the screen. So in this function, we are using try and catch block, and first using the get property function of this inbuilt system class, we are passing one os dot name as key. It will return what operating system is where this application is now executing. If this get property function returning Windows, so using the process builder inbuilt class, we are executing this cmd command. As we know, in Windows operating system on command prompt, this cmd is used to open the command prompt window, and this cls is a command to clear the screen. So in case the operating system is window, we are opening this cmd command and clearing the screen, and else we are using this clear function, and this clear function is basically used in Linux operating systems and Mac OS. So call this clear screen function where we need. So here we will use this clear function here, and we will use here as well. Before showing the employee, we will use it, and here as well before taking the input from the user regarding the employee details. Let's try this. So now let's execute this application from the terminal, not in the IDE. So this is the syntax to execute the application, Java minus CP. Now you should be in the folder where your class files are created by your IDE, and then use the complete package name and the name of the main class. So now application has executed. Choose one to add the employee. Now see, before adding the employee, it's clearing the screen. Now add another employee. Check the list of employees. Use 3 for exit. Now observe a new UI issue. Suppose I'm executing this application and this menu is appearing. I'm choosing one to add the employee. So now screen is clear and it's taking input from the user like ID, name, and department. After adding the department, I just hit the enter key. Now observe it printing the message employee added and directly move the control to the main menu. But here my requirement is after adding the record and printing the message employee added, it should wait the user input and print a message, press any key to continue. If user hit any key, only then control should move to the main menu. So now to implement this, make some changes in the menu.java file, and here standardize this message printing statement by adding a function display message. So this display message method will do two things. First, it will check the message is not null and not empty. If both conditions true, only then message will print. And then it's printing a message, press any key to continue, and calling a next line method of scanner class. So it will wait a user input. So until and unless user enter any key, this next line method will wait. Once user hit any key, we are clearing the screen and moving to the main menu. Now call this function from here and pass the same message. Now there is no need to print message here and no need to call the show menu method. And similarly, call this function after showing the employees. So there is no need to pass any message, just pass null. Just save this, recompile this menu.java and execute this application again. Choose one, provide ID, name, and department. See carefully. So now it printed the message employee added, but also showing press any key to continue. But control is still here. It's not yet moved to the main menu. So the control will move to the main menu once the user will hit any key. Suppose I'm hitting the enter. Now it's moving. So this is the fix of this issue. Let's revise it. We added one display message. Now this display message has two functionalities. Check the incoming message. It should not null and empty, and then print the message. Print the message, press any key to continue, and take the input from the user. Once user hit any key, clear the screen and move the control to the main menu. As we have completed the basic functionalities of add and show employees in this application, now in order to learn more and get experience, so there is a challenge for you. Now add two more functionalities along with the existing functionalities. So these two new functionalities will be edit the existing employee and delete any employee we have added earlier. So these are the two new functionalities. Work and take as a challenge. So once you will add these two functionalities, you will get a very good practical hands-on on this application. Now let's discuss regarding the limitations and the solution of the limitation of this application. As we develop this application and aware that we have used collection framework in order to store the employee information. So collection framework is based on objects and it is not providing us the permanent storage. So once we exit this application, all the employee information we added will be lost. In order to overcome this limitation, we are going to work on the next upgraded version of this application, and the next version will make use of database in order to persist the employee information system.